Welcome to This Explainer. I am so pumped you're joining us today because, well, we're taking something that most people literally just throw away and we're going to turn it into your absolute ultimate advantage. Yeah, we're talking about the course syllabus. I know. Day one of the term, you get this massive stack of paper or, a 10-page PDF, and it just screams boring, bureaucratic paperwork, right? You probably just file it away and completely forget about it. But today, we are completely reframing that. We're going to look at the syllabus not as extra paperwork, but as a highly tactical survival guide. This thing is your academic secret weapon for surviving and actually thriving in absolutely any course. Okay, let's dive into this right away with a question that honestly baffles professors every single semester. Why do students lose points they could have so easily kept? I mean, it happens all the time. Really smart, super capable students just bleeding points on their assignments or their overall grades. And the reality is, it's usually not because the material was too hard. Nope. It's because of completely preventable mistakes. Things like missed deadlines, totally wrong formatting, or just completely misunderstanding the assignment parameters. And the crazy part? The remedy to almost all of these preventable, point-draining mistakes is sitting right there in that exact document they ignored on day one. So let's just ground ourselves for a second with a quick, formal definition. A syllabus, or you might hear it called a course outline, is basically an official document that communicates the structure, the expectations, and the requirements of a course to students right at the beginning of a term. It lays out all the ground rules. But hey, here is a massive tip straight from the source material that so many students just completely miss. You should always keep copies of your course syllabus for every single course. Don't toss them out at the end of the semester. Why? Because if you ever transfer programs or switch universities or apply to grad school, those institutions use these exact documents to review course equivalencies. Your syllabus is quite literally the permanent receipt for your education. It's that important. Now, just like a genuinely good syllabus gives you a crystal clear roadmap for your entire semester, here is the roadmap for our explainer today. We've got your academic secret weapon, the anatomy of a syllabus, the 4 key roles, when to check it, the danger of ignoring it, and we'll wrap up with some pro tips for success. Let's keep moving. Section 1. Anatomy of a syllabus. Inside your secret weapon. Let's do a really quick, rapid-fire breakdown of the intelligence you're handed on day one. It's brilliant. Really. Under the assessment component, it doesn't just list out what the assignments are, it literally hands you the exact weighting and grading scheme. Boom, right there. Under content, it maps out all the weekly topics and those required readings. And then under policies, it lays out the actual rules of engagement. We're talking late submission penalties and, super crucially today, the exact rules regarding the use of AI and technology in your specific class. Literally everything you need to navigate the course safely is already mapped out for you. And it goes way beyond just the course-specific rules. The syllabus is actually your direct gateway to essential institutional support. You'll find these things called institutional statements. This is where you get the official links and protocols for accessibility services if you ever need accommodations. It outlines the equity and inclusion statements, and it firmly establishes the academic conduct policies. So it's really not just a list of chores you have to do, it's a full-blown directory of your rights and the support systems that are just waiting to help you at your school. Moving right along to Section 2, the 4 key roles, more than just a handout. All right, so now that we know what's actually packed inside this document, we need to understand exactly why it functions the way it does. And what's really fascinating here is the stark contrast between how students and universities view this exact same piece of paper. So the student view, they usually just see the syllabus as, a handout, maybe a loose schedule to figure out what's happening on a random Tuesday. But look at the institution's view. They see it as a binding reference and a contract. And guys, this isn't a metaphor. The university quite literally treats this document as a binding contract that communicates expectations. If it ever comes down to a grade appeal or an academic dishonesty case, the syllabus is the exact reference document the administration is going to use to make their ruling. So to wrap that up, the syllabus is essentially juggling these 4 critical roles all at once. 1, it's an instructional roadmap, organizing what's going to be taught and exactly when. 2, like we just said, it's a contract-like document defining the hard rules. 3, it's a super handy communication tool giving you essential logistics, like where your instructor's office is and when their hours are. And 4, it's a big picture alignment document. What that means is it explicitly shows you how the learning outcomes, the daily stuff you do in class, and the final exams are all deeply connected to one another, like a giant puzzle coming together. Next step, Section 3, when to check it. Timing is everything. Look, having a secret weapon is totally useless if you have no idea when to actually deploy it, right?
Please, do not file it away after week 1. You've got to treat this as a living document because it basically builds a chronological timeline for your success. Here's exactly how you do it. Number 1, at the very start of the course, you use it to plan, really understanding the purpose and the assessment breakdown. Number 2, at the start of every single week, you check it to pace yourself. Look ahead at upcoming topics and deadlines. Number 3, right before starting any assignment, you check the instructions, the grading criteria, and the resources. And number 4, literally right before you hit submit on that paper, you check it one last time to make absolutely sure you've met the formatting requirements, the submission methods, and the deadline rules. It's just this continuous, beautiful cycle of verification to guarantee your academic survival.
Okay, I want to speak directly to you for a second. We have all been there. It is 2 a.m., you're super stressed out, completely confused about an assignment, and you're just hovering over your keyboard about to send a panicked, highly emotional email to your professor. Stop. Seriously, stop. Check the syllabus first. It is absolutely always the place to start because 9 times out of 10, it already answers your question. It defines the course procedures, all the grading details, the late work policies, all of it. Save yourself the 2 a.m. stress and save your professor the inbox clutter. Check the syllabus first. That way, when you do reach out, you can ask a truly good, highly informed question.
And hey, it's not just for tracking assignments. As our source material brilliantly points out, the syllabus is an excellent resource when something unexpected happens. Because let's be real, life happens, right? You might get sick, you might have a family emergency, you might just suddenly fall way behind. When that unexpected crisis hits, you don't need to panic. The syllabus actually acts as your safety net. It dictates exactly what the appropriate response is, who you need to contact, and exactly how to access academic accommodations if you need them.
All right, moving to section 4, the danger of ignoring it, the chaos sound.
So what exactly happens if you decide to just ignore all this? Well, we're pivoting to the dark side now, and the real tragedy is that this chaos is entirely preventable. Here's the stark reality check every single student needs to understand. If it is in the syllabus, students are expected to know it, period. End of story. When a professor puts a rule, a deadline, or a strict policy regarding academic integrity into that document, they consider you officially notified. I didn't know or I didn't read it is never, ever accepted as a valid excuse. Ignorance of the rules will literally not save you. When you ignore this guide, you basically trigger a cascading series of disasters. You get missed or misunderstood deadlines, which means instant late penalties. You get lower quality work because you totally misunderstood the assignment instructions. But really look at that second point, misaligned effort. Guys, this is a silent killer. Without the syllabus, you might literally spend 10 hours agonizing over this tiny little assignment that's only worth 2% of your grade, while completely neglecting the major exam review that is worth a massive 40%. It's crazy. It also leads to lost opportunities. You might completely miss out on bonus points or late passes that were just sitting right there, hidden in the syllabus. Ultimately, ignoring this document just guarantees you a semester of increased stress and total uncertainty. And finally, Section 5, Pro Tips for Success, Final Briefing. Let's bring the energy right back up and get you ready to absolutely tackle your term. Think of this as your locker room style wrap up before the big game. So the crucial point is, if you want to dramatically reduce your academic stress and really protect your grades, just do this. Step 1, make it a habit to review the syllabus at the start of each week to pace yourself. Step 2, meticulously check it before starting any assignment to ensure you understand the requirements and exactly what it's worth. And step 3, revisit it immediately anytime you are unsure about expectations or policies before you fire off that email. 3 simple steps. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought today. You have literally been handed the master plan for your course. Every expectation, every deadline, every single rule is right there at your fingertips. So the question is, will you let your secret weapon just gather dust in a folder somewhere? Or will you use it to take immediate control of your education and absolutely dominate your term? The choice is entirely yours. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Now, seriously, go grab that syllabus.